Hi, welcome to a stretch class today. We're going to have a bit of an experiment with some Pilates today, and we're going to do a little bit of splits work as well because that's something I haven't covered yet. So to start with, I think we're going to start lying down on our backs. Oh, just as a quick aside, you might want to grab a cushion. Just as I've explained previously, it's a bit difficult to lie down on your front if you've got bony hips like me, so grab a cushion if you need it. You might also need it for your knees because I'm planning on doing a little bit of Pilates work kneeling up. So first of all, before you lie down, you'll want to check that your feet are an equal width apart, they're not turned out, they're not turned in, and they're not too wide either. They don't want to be all the way out here, they don't want to be like exactly together. They want to be about, I've got about sort of a hand's width, or slightly bit more than that, like a hand and a half width between my feet. That corresponds to about the same width as my hips. Keep your knees over your toes. You want to lie down. Make sure that you're lying nice and flat on the floor and that you're not pressing your spine upwards or pushing it down. So it's got a small gap underneath. Not a giant one, just a little one. That's your neutral spine. Very important for Pilates. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pull all the muscles in your stomach inwards and upwards, and you start to tilt your pelvis and roll up tiny bit by tiny bit all the way up to the top. Take a breath in and out, and as you let go of your breath you start to roll all the way down to the bottom. Now I think I'm a little too far away from my legs, so I'll move closer and we can go again. Don't be too far away from your legs unless you really want a pretty hard hamstring workout. Okay, so tucking your tail under, that's better. Rolling up through your spine, try and lift each piece off bit by bit, all the way up to the top. Breathe in, breathe out, and roll down again, slowly all the way through your spine. That's the bit I find tricky, right in the centre of my spine, and to the bottom. Let's have another 2 goes at that, pulling everything in. Always start with the muscles doing it, don't just roll. Rolling all the way up to the top, taking a breath in, letting it go, then starting your roll down as you do. All the way through your spine. Can you see where I'm struggling? There will be parts of your spine where you struggle too. Make sure to take that slowly, take as much time as you need to roll down. And last one, starting with the muscles pulling your tailbone underneath, curling upwards, roll through your spine, all the way to the top. Breath in and breath out. Rolling through your spine, taking time when you get to the difficult parts, and relax. Give your legs a bit of a shake. You can repeat that another 2 times if you want, but for sake of time today we'll move on from there. Let's have a bit of a stretch whilst we're down here. Cross your right leg on top of your left. You need to make sure that you've got a little gap in between so you can fit your arms through, grabbing your left leg, pulling it close to your chest, and if you're very bendy and you've probably got your leg all the way flat to your chest like I used to do, what you want to do is also push your knee out, so right elbow pushes right knee out for a bit of an extra stretch. Personally, I've done a bit of gardening and I'm quite stiff, so this is where I'm going to stay today. Make sure to take some nice deep breaths whilst you're there. Try and relax as much as you can. I know it's quite painful. And last breath. And relax. Give your legs a bit of a shake. Same again on the other side. Crossing your leg over, arms through, grabbing on, pulling closer and pushing that leg out with your elbow if you can do that. Now just stay there. That's definitely quite a pull today. Big breath in. And out. Try and relax as much as you can. Breathe in. And out. Last breath in. And out. Okay, relax your legs, give them a shake. Okay, So we're going to do another Pilates exercise as well whilst we're here. So we're going to roll gently up and then roll back down through the top of your spine and relax. Now what I don't want to see is because that's cheating. What really helps you with this is doing the same thing you've done with your lower spine and peeling off every single bone as high as you can. When I was very fit, I used to be able to get right off the floor and hold it for several seconds easily and then roll down again. Nowadays it's a little difficult. The other thing you need to remember about this is you don't want to be popping your muscles out, kind of like, bad example really? No. Yeah, no, that's definitely the right example. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know how he pops his muscles out to demonstrate how much muscle he has? You don't want to do that, you want to do the opposite. So everything needs to pull upwards and inwards and downwards towards your belly button, if depending on where it's coming from. So your belly button's like the centre and it's like water going down the plug. So let's do a couple of those. So rolling up, holding it there, and rolling down again. Try and be nice and slow about that roll down. Same with the roll up, and again. Rolling up, holding it there, and back down, and relax. If you're feeling really badass, have a go like this. This is much harder. Rolling up, holding it here, if you don't have your arms to help you, and rolling down, and relax. If you're feeling also kind of badass, you can do it with your arms behind your head. I'll demonstrate that for you as well. Rolling up, oh my goodness, this is tough. Don't do this. Don't crunch, you need to keep everything nice and long. And rolling down, and relax. Pull your legs in. Just give those a bit of a squeeze in towards you. And we'll repeat that one more time. I'll just demonstrate all of them with my arms down this time, just to see, so you can see. So, start by rolling up. Hold it there, as long as you can. Keep those feet and legs in neutral position as well. And rolling back down, and relax. Hello, Zig. And rolling up. Holding it there. Try and keep everything nice and relaxed as much as you can. Shoulders back, and down. Last 2 times. Rolling up, and hold it. Make sure that everything is relaxed and imagine that you've got like a golf ball or an orange underneath your chin. And roll down. And last time, all the way up. Hold it there. And roll down. And relax. Okay, bring your legs in. Just relax there for a bit. Okay, so I think I've not done this in a while, but I think we should probably go back to it because it's very useful. Let's have a go at the clam. So, lying down on your side, ooh, that's quite pokey. You might want to stick a cushion under your hip if you've got bony hips. That's a little better. So, you might want to put your hand here to keep your hips aligned. You might want to put it on the floor if you feel like you've not got much balance. Just make sure that you can take your hand away and you're not like gripping onto the floor for grim death. I'm going to do this just to demonstrate so you can see what's going on. So with the clam, we're going to do that version where you open your leg this way, then you open it upwards, then you bring it back here. Whoa, there goes my hip. And then down. So you're going to lift your leg this way, then imagine it's stuck to a certain point there and you open your legs, turning them right out, back in, and relax. So that's up, open up, turn your leg in, just ignore that alarm, and relax, open your leg, turn it out, turn it back in, and down. Give you like a bit of a shake, a nice big shake, make sure all your muscles wobble, it's good for them. Then we'll flip to the other side. Just reposition that just slightly. I think I need it a bit differently on this side. Okay, so make sure you're in a nice neutral position so you're not rolling forward and you're not rolling backwards. You're nice and in the middle. So I'll put my hand on my hip to show where my hip should stay. So you're opening this way, turning it out, turning it back in, and then you put your leg down. So that's lift the bottom of your leg up, turning it out, pull it in, and leg down. Open, and up, turn it, and down. Last time, lift the leg up, then turn it out, turn it in, and down. That's very important to remember with that one. Whenever you're doing that, you need to keep feeling that drawing in sensation of all your muscles pulling towards your centre. It really helps. Just for a quick stretch in between those exercises, sit up. You're going to cross, what have I got going on here? You're going to cross your left leg underneath you, your right leg's going over the top, I can already feel this. Wrapping your left arm round, right hand behind you, twist away. This is to pull this leg in tight to your chest as much as you can. You should feel a really good stretch up here. If you need a slightly less intense stretch, remember, I've said this before, you can pull your foot further down or just keep it here depending on how tight you are in your glutes. For me, I'm feeling like I need a good stretch today, so I'm going to go for it. Make sure you hold it. Make sure everything is nice and stacked on top of each other. Like no slouching in this one, it won't help. Pull that leg nice and tight to your chest. Take a deep breath in. And out. And relax. Give your leg a bit of a shake. And we're going to change around to the other leg. Crossing your leg over. So this time I have my left leg on top. My right leg is underneath. Sitting both hips on the floor squarely. I'm going to wrap my right arm around. Pull this leg into me. And my left hand is going to go on the floor and I'm going to twist away and hold on tight. Now I can feel that pulling quite well already. If you want to make it pull even more, some people have found that this also helps them. So you can put your elbow on the outside of your leg and twist away. That also helps you back. I'm going to go back to demonstrating this way from now. Pull that leg nice and close to your chest. Make sure to breathe in, deep breath in. And out. In. And out. And relax. Give your leg a good shake. Now we're going to do a quick stretch. We've done this before, but I think it's a good idea to visit it again. So you start like we did with the last one. I've got my right leg crossed underneath me. I'm going to take my left leg, it's going to go all the way around as if I'm going to go for that other stretch we've just done. But instead of that, I'm tucking it in. So now I've got two knees on top of each other and my legs facing outwards in kind of a V or a chevron type shape. Please ignore Teller, I think he's about to come say hello. Hey buddy. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit here for a bit, just get used to that feeling, and then you're going to slowly walk forwards. Try and get your head as close to your knees as possible. If you can get your chest flat on your legs, great. Bring the bottom of your legs, your lower legs, out a little bit more for more intense stretch. If it's too much as it is, you might want to just try this instead. But if you're feeling up to it, have a good stretch forward, like Teller's doing on his little scratch pad, and just relax. Try and breathe whilst you're down here. I know it's difficult, but breathing does really help with stretching. Helps the oxygen get to the muscles and helps the muscles perform better. Nice deep breath in, and out, and in, and out. Okay, sit up, get yourself out of that position, give your legs a shake. I honestly did brush this floor, the cats have then since played on it. Now we're going to do the opposite way round, so that is left leg underneath for me and right leg over the top. We're going to sit up straight, make sure everything's stacked one on top of the other, and you're going to reach forward and slowly relax over your legs. Just stay there. It's quite an intense stretch, just be very careful that you're not going into it and it's pulling badly or anything. If it's really too much for you, work up to it. It did take me a long while to get the sides of my legs used to this and the sides of my hips used to this, because the muscle that's being stretched is this one. It loops all the way around to the top of your hip, and it can be very tight in dancers. Doesn't matter what discipline, any discipline, you end up really tight there because dancers use their glutes a lot. So this is a good one to stretch all that out. It is, however, very intense, so just be careful. I mean, I used to be here, I used to have my legs with a big gap and I used to have to just sit and bear with it. And since stretching, since practicing, I've got to this part. So just be careful. So, take a deep breath in. And out. Try and walk yourself further forward if you can. And again in. And out. Much better on this side. Alright, sit up. Get your legs out of that position and give them a shake. Right, let's just have a go at a bit of 4-point kneeling. It's been a while, so I'm going to just stick this cushion under my knees because I do tend to have quite bony knees and it is a bit of a pain in the butt to have bony knees and kneel on the floor. What you don't want to do here is sink into all your joints and muscles. If you're hyperflexible or hypermobile in any way, you'll want to sit. Don't sit, you have to stretch up and out. Make sure that you're tucking your elbows in and not pushing them outwards. Please ignore the cats, they're playing. Okay, so you're going to slowly take one arm off the floor towards the ear, and you don't want to be sagging, you want to be completely in the middle. Arm down and relax. Arm out, lift it up, down and relax. All the way through this, keep pulling those stomach muscles inwards. Stretch it out and lift, down and relax. Stretch it out and lift, down and back together again. Give yourself a little stretch out, cat stretch. Okay, now for the second bit of this, that first bit's not going to seem too difficult to any of you who've got very stable and strong scapulae, which is good. The second bit goes on from this. I've demonstrated this before and I've shown you that as you lift this, everything has to stay nice and square and stable. This is for stability and not for flexibility. Alright, so I'm going to start with my right hand leading outwards and my left leg leading outwards, so it's opposite arm to leg. So, what you do is you stretch your arm and leg out at the same time. You lift, put them down and bring them in again. Stretch them out, lift up, nice and long. You're aiming to push your hand and your leg through the opposite walls of the room. So stretch out, lift up, arms down and leg down, and back together. Stretch out again, lift, stretch, and then back together. Give yourself a stretch. Now it's important to note with that one that you don't start dipping your back in the minute that you lift your leg up, because it's not going to be very well supported. You're aiming for everything in your pelvic girdles to be nice and still. So as you can see, I've got one hand on the floor now. I can do anything with this one, even to show you that my hips are square. And that's because this strength is what you will need for an awful lot of partner work. And it's what you'll need for just general class work. It's quite tough. Okay, shall we do that one more time and then we can move on to something else. Specifically 4-point kneeling with arabesque is really, really good for dancers. Really strengthening. This time we'll start with left leg. No, left arm and right leg. Why not? So, stretching out and lift. Stretch down and pull together. Other side, stretch out and lift. Stretch down and pull together. Stretch out and lift. All the way down. Pull together. Stretch out. Lift. All the way down. And pull together. And then have a stretch. Tuck your arms in behind you. Alright, well, have a sit up. And I think the next thing we'll do is we'll actually do a cat stretch. I think, yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to dispense with my pillow for the minute because I need to show you properly, and I think the pillow would get in the way of this one. So you're going to start by tucking your tail under and pulling everything into the centre, arching your back as high as it'll go. Then reverse it. So tailbone first, rolling through your spine until you can get to the other end and stretch up. Start again, tailbone in, roll through, stretch up, and reverse it, tailbone first, all the way through your spine, stretch up, another couple of those, tailbone in, rolling through your back, head long and stretch, tucking your tailbone under, rolling through your back, and stretch. One last one, all the way through. Pull that stomach in and reverse it. Tailbone first, rolling through your spine and stretch. Tuck in and have a bit of a relax down there. Tuck your arms behind you, just relax all your shoulders as well. Okay, I'm going to tuck this underneath me. I think that'll do. And we're going to have a go at lying down on our fronts. Now, we've done this exercise, I think, before once. It may actually be helpful if you have something like a ball nearby, if you're already fairly good at this, to use the ball as an extra weight in your arms. I'm just going to show you without for today. So you're going to lie down on your front. I'm just lifting my head up a little bit so you can hear me speak. You're going to tuck one arm underneath you, stretch the other arm out in front of you. You're going to lift up and roll down again. And you're going to change arms, do the other side. Extend and lift up and down. And tuck your arms in, stretch your arm out. If you want to change it to do this way, with a little bit more support, you can. I'm going to keep my arms here though, stretching your arm out and lift, and arm down and pull in. Give yourself a bit of a stretch. Now the thing with that exercise is that there's not really very much going on surface, and that's because basically most of the work is happening in the deep muscles in your back, so you're not aiming for like a super high extension just yet. You'll probably be able to build up to that if you keep practicing and doing this exercise very, very frequently, but this exercise in particular helped me when I was recovering from my back injury to get more strength into my lower back, because that's where I was lacking it, and that's one of the reasons I think why I ended up injured. So there is another version of this where you can put your arms both out and you can lift up and down and up and down, so we can try that now. So back on your front, two arms out this time. So you're going to lift up, hold it and come down, and the other arm up, hold it and come down, lifting up, hold it, and slowly come down. And you're going to lift up through your other arm, hold it, and slowly come down. Docking yourself into a cat stretch. Just relaxing there for a bit. One of the other things to just bear in mind with that particular set of exercises is that it's okay if you're not super like high yet. Like I said before, this is very much about building strength. If you feel like you're only getting your face an inch off the floor, don't worry about it. Eventually you will build the strength up and you'll be able to lift yourself much further than you thought it was capable. Okay, just to finish, I think we're going to do a couple of stretches that I personally find really useful. First of all, we're going to do a little bit of, we're going to do some splits training as well. Let's do that first. So kneeling up, one leg in front of you, the other leg needs to be tucked underneath you. I've got my right out and my left tucked underneath. And you're just going to hold it wherever is comfortable. If this is where you can get to and it's painful there, just stay there. If you can find that you can get your head on your knee, go for it. But you're just going to stay here for a little bit. Just relax as much as you can. Take some deep breaths. And then bring that leg in. And you're going to give the other one a go. So I've got my left leg out in front of me now. I'm just going to line up, just relax my head down to the front of my leg, taking in a few deep breaths. And then bringing it in. Just sit back on your legs for just a second, give yourself a bit of a break. And then the other way, you're going to tuck your front foot, I've got my right foot here in front of you, and stretch out long through your back leg. You can stay here if you want, or you can gently lower yourself onto your arms, or you can collapse over your front leg, just resting on your front leg like this. Personally, I've found that at different times in my flexibility training, different stages of this exercise has helped. Right now I'm trying to get this bit a bit more flexible, so if you want to feel more of a stretch, you can sit up and just hold that there. Make sure to keep your stomach muscles working. Okay, and then we're going to change to the other leg. So now I've got my left leg tucked in front of me, my right leg behind, just stretching it out long. This is slightly tighter than the other side, so I need to be a little more careful on this side. And just relaxing there as much as you can. You can go all the way down here and stay here if it's the glutes that you want to work, but right now it's sort of just here that I need to work on, so I'm just waiting here. Take a deep breath in and out, and breath in again and out. Okay, bring those legs in, give them a shake, and then gently just relax over your legs, holding it there. Breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, and then sit up, give your legs a shake there. Now, if you repeat that combo of exercises quite frequently and quite often, and then you can start to see the difference, and after a while you'll get to a point where you've got enough of a sort of strength to hold yourself there, and eventually you'll be able to lower yourself down. Be very careful when you practice splits because you don't want to damage your hamstrings. Right, for just the last little bit of this, sit up straight, find yourself a comfortable position to sit in, and you're going to slowly lower your head down and just relax as close as you can get to the floor. And come back up again. Take your arm, wrap it around your head, pull your head over to one side. Remember to keep breathing. And the other one. Pull your arm